So we are stirring in healing for you, Paloma, as we invite in your spirit guide. Let's have a conversation with your guardian angel, because that is who we got today. We got Temperance for the card for who your spirit guide is. This is your guardian angel, however things are imbalanced right now. And whenever this card is reversed, it's actually an onset of illness sometimes. Now, this particular spirit that we're speaking with, I don't know like if this phrase means anything to you, but the first thing that they said to me was a quote from Big Daddy. Whenever Layla is talking to her sister when she's in the restroom crying over how the party is not really going the way she thought it was going to go, and she shares the story of how her parents like had to overcome and make 100 hamburgers on like one little skillet, and the quote was, "You're not going to let a little rain stop you from making 100 hamburgers, are you?" And then, you know, everything is okay after she says that. But the energy of this guide is that they are very like emotionally mature and available and there for you and very proud of you. In addition, this cornflower card lets us know a bit about their character and how they operate as a guide. So this card is talking about the cornflower plants, which back in the day the farmers really didn't like, and they considered them to be a weed because they were so stocky and thick and they would blunt their sickles. But despite all of that, they actually were just this wonderful blessing in disguise for this Queen Louise of Prussia. They hid her and her children while they were fleeing. And the children were actually entertained by the cornflowers because they were making flower crowns. So what I take away from this is that as a guide, they help you through troubled waters, and they do their best to keep you distracted from how troublesome it really is. On the messages you may have missed, we got the Hangman reversed. And I'm actually going to have to pull some more cards on this because part of what this means whenever it's reversed is that you missed an opportunity. So it's too much stuff missing. We got to figure it out. I'll just go ahead and do an open pull right here. Let me try my cards. Another thing that card is about is kind of like an inability to change. And the reason for it is usually because we are... like it's something that is very foundational to us, and so it's hard for us to change that belief system. It's usually stuff like old, you know, really deep down there, stuff that probably you put in your subconscious when you were like under 7. Let me stop talking so I can get the card. What opportunity are they missing? What messages are they missing? You can't tell me that what we're missing is something that we're missing. We need more than that. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. The card fell. They love to do that. Okay, it's the 8 of Coins. So this is a card of like mastering your craft, perfecting something. But as you can see on this card, she is not happy about it. So part of the reason why she's so upset is because, well, for one, she is weaving nettles, and nettles hurt, and she has to do it in complete silence so that she can free her chosen family. Part of what this story is about family and trust, and that sometimes family is not blood, but the people that we choose to love and that love us back. So we're having an inability to change something on like a family and trust kind of issue. What I'm picking up on is that a message that you may have missed is that I think there's some forgiveness that needs to happen in the family. And with where your pain was being located in the shoulder and shoulder blade area, that is father wounds. I think some of the reason that there is like an issue that needs the forgiving over is I feel like there wasn't an equal give and take. Like you feel like something was unjust in that relationship perhaps. However, this card is actually in the position for how they try to speak to you so that you can know, going forward in the future when they're trying to communicate and guide you. So in this case, what I'm gathering is that whenever you're feeling the need to be generous, that is 100% your guide. And whenever you are feeling the need to do self-care, that is 100% this guide. The guide that's coming through right now is absolutely a guide of health. We talked about how it was the Temperance and it can indicate an onset of illness. I think whenever that stuff is starting to flare up, they do try to communicate with you and get you to do some self-care and get you to take a little bit more for yourself. What I'm picking up on is that what are they saying? She needs to understand when her cup is full and when it's not, and when she can pour and when she can't. And I think that is a struggle for you. Something that they're proud of you for is the Ace of Wands. And this card is kind of like the match strike, right? Whenever inspiration first starts and you first get like the passion for something. They're proud of your passion. They're proud of your creativity. But I'm kind of seeing that they're just kind of proud of like how fiery, like spicy. I think you're a little spicy. And I believe that your passions and your talents, your, whatever it is that you're creating, it's a big deal. And I think you're supposed to be doing a little bit more than you allow yourself to do. It almost feels like you like stopped, like something happened and like maybe you stopped letting yourself express yourself artistically, but they really want you to do that. The chakra card that I pulled came out for the throat chakra. It says, I happily show the world my God-willed existence. And this card is talking about how we come here and we have these gifts, we have these talents, everyone is different and unique, and everyone knows something that you don't know, but we are supposed to come here and shine those gifts. Like, everyone is, I think I already said this, but everybody's different, right? If the bank teller didn't have people to listen to music, like so that they could sing and get through their shift would be boring. And if the bank teller didn't go to work, the person singing the song couldn't pay their bills. We all need to rely on each other. And it's nice whenever we can share ourselves with the world and just to help be a light in other people's life with your creations. So now that we've gotten through all of the getting to kind of know the guide, let's get to the juicy details, what we really came for, the message. So ultimately, you are being led through a path right now, and I know it feels dark. I know that it feels dark, babe, and like I could, your energy whenever it tapped in, honestly, I just wish that I could give you the biggest hug and just because I know that you need it. You are going to get through this. Right now, you're going through a hermit phase. You're going through a dark night. Things are going to fall apart. It's not fun to go through the hermit phase. But I want you to know that your guide is there for you. And there is your journey is waiting on the other side. You just got to get through this little Page of Cups era, right? So let's talk about this card. The card is currently reversed, and whenever it's reversed, it is showing us that we've kind of closed ourselves off from our emotions, and we've detached a little bit from like our outlets. And what I'm gathering is that once we can get this card to, the energy to flip over, that is when we will kind of get past some of this gruesome hermit mode that you're going through and get to the new journey. All right. So how we can do this is by sharing our emotions, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to check in and don't disconnect from your body. I know that you've been hurting lately, and whenever that's going on, a lot of times we will detach and kind of numb, but it's dangerous whenever we get out of our body too much. We don't want to be in our head. Once our crown chakra gets too open like that, things get a little crazy and it's kind of hard to get back down. And all that harping that I did on creativity a few minutes ago, share your creations, let yourself create, let yourself express your emotions. That's a really big deal with this card. Like whenever emotions get stuck in our body, it really just causes issues. It doesn't leave our auric field if we don't allow the energy to pass through. We are not our emotions. We are just the observer of our emotions. We feel our emotions, right? If we don't allow ourselves to feel them and they get stuck, we get blocked, we get clogged, things go awry. I know that we're not doing a health reading right now, but I am 100% gathering that the reason that some of these health issues are going on is from that stuck forgiveness. Whatever family member this is, I really think that it's a dad or a grandpa, maybe an uncle, but I think you're going to know exactly who your guide is talking about. Once we can work through that forgiveness and start allowing ourselves to express our emotions a little bit more, I believe that you're going to start feeling 1,000 times better. All right, the last little bit of encouragement from your guide here is, well, this is citrus, and this is a card of capability and empowerment. Oftentimes whenever this card comes out, it is because you've been stuck in like a limbo and kind of waiting for something to happen or someone to come and help. But it's you know what I mean? You've got to save yourself here. And what this card recommends that you do is just stuff yourself full of stuff that makes you feel pleasure, that makes you feel excited, that makes you feel happy. We need to root so deeply into gratitude right now that it's the only thing that you're feeling. And Moonwort came out to just kind of give that final validation to the grief and the emotions that we have kind of buried deep in our subconscious. the moonwort has like a lot of magical qualities, right? But one of its most prominent ones is that it can undo any lock. So our brains can kind of lock away, you know, trauma and unwanted feelings and grief, and we need to open up that lock and get that out of there. And ultimately, once we get that cleared, they want you to start focusing on what's right and what's good. The bramble card comes up whenever we've been just waiting. It's like we're waiting for the next shoe to drop. We're waiting for the next pitfall. Well, whenever we're putting that out into the universe, guess what we're going to get? The shoe's going to drop. But if we're focused on what's going right, then more things will start to go right. It's very much like that whole once you buy a yellow car, you never saw yellow cars, but now you see them everywhere. Your brain finds what you want it to find, so make sure that you're programming what you want it to find to be good stuff. All right, my dear, that concludes your reading. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for trusting me with your energy. I love you, and I hope that you start feeling better soon. I do have an idea that I want to run by you. So I have done healing rituals with Gabriel before, and it is the full moon, and I don't know, everything was just feeling right to me, like things were calling out to me that was kind of letting me know that maybe Gabriel wanted to get involved. And if you were at all interested in doing like a full moon healing ritual, I would love to do that with you and for you. Just let me know. Stay magical.